I'm going to do this 6 by 6 KenKen so you can just see an example of one being completed. Okay. And you might want to do this like it just didn't print quite right. It's just sort of odd, but I'm just going to fill in those lines that didn't print. Sorry. So you might want to start with that. To me, it's a little distracting to not have those lines there. So you feel free to slow down or speed up this video, but I'm going to just go through and do this KenKen completely, and I'm going to talk through my thought process. And then if you want to try 6 by 6 for the challenge, then you can do that. So first thing is I notice there's a 4 by itself here and a 3 by itself. And so this is, right, I'm going to use the numbers 1 through 6 here because there's 6 boxes and 6 boxes. And so what I'm looking for right now, what I'm searching for, is boxes where it can only be one pair of numbers. And so here's what I don't mean, right? Like, I don't mean multiplied by 6 because that could be 1 and 6, or it could be 2 and 3. So that's not a good example because I don't, like, that would mean I would say, okay, I have a 1, 6, I have 2, 3. It's too many possibilities. And so what I'm looking for first is a box where there's only one possibility for what two numbers it could be. And so if I'm thinking about the numbers 1 through 6, one that jumps out to me is this one. Subtract to get 5. The only way that I could subtract to get 5 is 6 and 1. And so look what I'm going to do. I'm going to put 1 and 6 just on the line right here because I still don't know if this is a 1 or this is a 1 and this is a 6. Is this a 6? I'm not sure. But this is going to be a 1 and a 6. And I know because those are the two numbers that are the farthest apart out of the numbers I have available to me. And if I subtract them, I get 5. If I use like 5 and 1, it would be only 4 when I subtract it. Let's see. Another one that jumps out to me is adding to 11. Because the only way that I could get all the way up to 11 by adding just two numbers is by using 5 and 6. Okay, so I'm going to put 5 and 6 on the line here. Again, these two numbers have to be 5 and 6. And so then it starts to show me more. Like, for example, this divided by 3. This could be 1 and 3, or it could be 2 and 6. Right? It could be both of those. But see where the line, see it's on this row? And I've already decided there's a 6 here, right? So it can't be 2, 6. So that like eliminates that possibility and means these two boxes are a 1 and a 3. So I'm going to write on my line 1 and 3, right? And so now look what I'm going to do. So I already have a 1 on this line. I'm missing a 2, I have a 3, I have a 4, I have a 5, I have a 6. The only number I was missing was 2. So that means I can put a 2 right here. And now, in this box, I'm still actually not sure what goes here because to get divided and get 2, it could be a 1, right? I get 2 divided by 1, or it could actually be a 4, right? It could be 4 divided by 2. So still some possibilities there, but it's going to be a 1 or a 4, one of those. Okay, so let's keep going. I'm going to find another box that jumps out to me there's only one possibility, or maybe even two possibilities, right? But I'm looking. So this one jumps out to me sort of interesting. Multiply to 10. What numbers multiply to 10? I notice I have 3 boxes here. Well, let's see. Numbers that multiply to 10, I'm just going to use this space down here. It would be 5 times 2. And then what would have to be the third number? It would have to be a 1, right? So 5 times 2 times 1 is 10. Now, so the thing is these are my 3 boxes, right? Because I have 3 boxes. I have 1, 2, 3. So they have to be a 5, a 2, and a 1. And you could even like write yourself a little note like this or something, right? Whatever works for you. But what I notice is I actually already have a 2 in this column. And so these two can't be 2s. And so that means this has to be the 2 over here. And so then I realize, oh, okay. Well, in that case, these two have to be the 1 and the 5. Right? So this is going to be a 1 and a 5. I'm not sure which order. I'm going to erase this note. And then as I make notes to myself, what's so nice about the notes is look, okay, if this has to be a 1 and a 5, I'm not sure which order, right? This might be a 1, this might be a 1, but this can't be a 1 for sure because there's already going to be a 1 here. So I'm going to erase this note. This said 1 and 4. Well, it must be a 4. Okay? And then I look at this whole column and look, I have it almost done. I have a 1, I have a 2, I have a 3, I have a 4, I have a 5, but I'm missing a 6. So I fill in my 6. And now that I filled in my 6, okay, let's look at this, right? These 3 boxes are supposed to add to 17. Well, I already have a 6 here. Okay, so let's think. 17 minus 6 is 11. So that means that these 2 boxes have to add to 11. Well, that's the same as up here. It's got to be a 5 and a 6. There's no other way to add to 11. So if it has to be a 5 and a 6, right, these 2 boxes have to be 5 and 6. This can't be 6. It can't be right next to another 6. So this must be 5 and 6. Okay, and I'm starting to move along here and fill in more things. So let's see. Let's look again and see if I can find something to do next. Right? And sometimes it just takes looking, right? And I'm just gonna have to pause and look for a second. That's okay. This catches my eye just because it's a really big number, right? Like, how am I going to multiply and get 80? Well, like 10 times 8 is 80, right? But the thing is like, I can't use a 10 or an 8. And I know that I could get 10 by doing 5 times 2, but that still doesn't work because 5 times 2 is 10, but I can't use an 8. I can only use the numbers 1 through 6. So I'm like a little bit stumped, right? Like, how do I get all the way up to 80? So let's see if I can figure it out. Let's try. So the other thing that pops into my mind is 80 is also 20 times 4, right? So 20 times 4, and then 20 is 4 times 5. So I could get 80 by doing 4 times 4 times 5, right? And you can even like check out your calculator if you need to, but that's 4 times 4 is 16, times 5 is 80. So this has to be 4 times 4 times 5. So how am I going to fit that in if I have to have 2 4s? I have to have 2 4s. They can't be in the same row in the same column, so the 2 4s have to go like this, and the 5 here. And then look, because I've done such a good job taking notes to myself, right? There's a 5 and a 1 here. I know they go here and here, but because there's a 5 in this row, I can now erase that note and tell myself, okay, this is a 1 and a 5. Okay, so still moving along, making pretty good progress. Over here, I'm going to look at this column because I notice I have a bunch of numbers here. So let's see, what numbers am I missing? So here, like, I'm not sure if there's going to be a 1 or a 3 here. And I don't know what's here. There's a 2, there's a 4, 5, 6. So this actually, there's also a possibility of a 1 and 3 in this box, right? Because those are the only 2 left. So let's think, like, if this was a 1, this would have to be a 2. If this was a 3, this would have to be a 6. Okay, so no more to do there, right? Like, I'm still not sure. This is either 1 or 3, and then that would make this either 2 or 6 to divide. So not sure, but I'm going to just keep going, right? I've made myself a note. And let's see if we can continue to figure this out. I notice a 9 plus here. I'm going to look at this one for a second. 9, so adding to 9, it could be 6 and 3, it could be 5 and 4, then it could be like 4 or 5, which is the same thing, right? And so, but then I notice, oh look, I already have a 6 and a 3 over here, so it can't be that. So this has to be a 5 and a 4, and then look, this is already a 4. And so this is a 5 and a 4. And it turns out, actually, I could have done that first, right? Because I actually had this 3 here right at the start. And so this could have even been my first box if I had noticed it, but I didn't, which is fine. And then over here, let's look what I have left in this row. I have a 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm missing a 1 and a 2. So look, I'm just going to make myself a little note, right? I'm missing a 1, 2 here and a 1, 2 here. Not sure what to do yet, right? This could be a 1, this could be a 1, 4, or a 2, 3. So still not sure, but just making myself notes. Let's see what else I can find. Let's look at this one. And the reason that I look at this box is because I already have like a lot of numbers in this row. I have a 1, I have a 4, I have a 5. So let's think about 2 numbers that could divide to get 2. And I can't use a 1, right? So it can't be 1 and 2. And it can't be, so it can't be like 1, 2. That's not a possibility, right? Let's see, can it be 2, 4? No, I've already used a 4, so that's not a possibility. It can be 3, 6. Oh yeah, that works. So it can be a 3 and a 6, right? That's that's what's going to go here, 3 and 6. Okay, so again, I'm not sure what order, but I notice, look, there's a 5, 6 here and a 3, 6 here. So let's say like there's a 6 here, that means there's going to be a 6 here. Or if there's a 6 here, there's going to be a 6 here. But either way, there can't be a 6 anywhere else in these columns. There just can't be, right? Because it's already used up. There's a 6 in one of these two, and there's a 6 in one of these two. And so then when I go back to look at 6 times, remember this could have been 6 times 1 or 3 times 2, but now I know it has to be 3 times 2. And there's already a 2 here, so it's going to be 3 times 2, and I'm starting to feel like I'm getting close to the end, right? Look, this is a 3, and this is 3 or 6, so this must be 6 and 3. And then this, if this is a 6, this has to be a 5 and a 6. Okay, here I decided this down here was a 1 or a 2, but now I have a 2 up here, so this must be a 1, which leaves over only a 2 in this row. And then in this box, it has to divide to get 2. It could be 4 divided by 2, but there's already a 4 here, so it's got to be a 1, right? 2 divided by 1 is 2. And then I follow that up here. If this is a 1, this has to be a 3 and 1. I said this could be 2 or 6, but now it can't be a 2, so it's got to be a 6. This could be a 1 or a 3, but it can't be a 1, so it's got to be a 3. Over here, this was 1 and 6, but now I have a 6, so it's a 1, 6. Now I can just sort of count, right? This is 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm missing a 5. This is 1, there's no 1, right? And this works out. 5 minus 1 is 4, so that looks good. Here, 1, I'm missing a 2, right? 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to do the same with these columns. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, good. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm just going to check this last box I just filled in. Add to 7. 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 2 is 7. And I'm done.